모닝 스페셜 듣고 계십니다. 많은 분들이 사연을 보내주셨는데요. 김고은 님이, 월터 선생님, 파전 너무 웃기세요. 네. 김정전 얘기를 하다가.
Yeah, I'm very glad this listener and hopefully all the other listeners take that in the appropriate context. I don't mean any disrespect, of course, to Korea's ancient history, but I just, as a second language user of Korean, you make different connections sometimes. So when I saw that 전, I thought, well, I do like 감자전, 김치전, 배추전, 해물전, 파전, all kinds of 전.
네. 한국어를 외국어로 배우시는 입장에서 월터 선생님이 이런 아재 개그를 좀 해주셨습니다.
I am the king of those dad jokes, yes.
Do you call them dad jokes?
Yeah, in English.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure.
There you go. 네. 김거은님 감사합니다. 끝번호 1837 쓰시는 분이요. 오늘도 푹푹 찌는 아침이에요. 이 더위가 빨리 지나가고 가을이 왔으면 싶다가도 어차피 지나가는 여름이니 즐기자로 마음을 바꾸는 중인데요. 오늘도 화이팅입니다. 이렇게 보내주셨어요. Yeah, enjoy it if you can't avoid it.
That's good advice, yes. And if you can't avoid it, enjoy it.
There you go. 네, 여름. 더울하고 있는 계절이겠죠. Carpe Diem이라고 작가님이 보내주셨습니다. Seize the day.
Absolutely.
네, 힘내세요. 정유빈님. 그리고 금도끼님은요. 손자 생일이 88입니다. 오늘인가 봐요. 축하해주고 사랑한다고 전하고 싶네요. 4살입니다. 네, 금도끼님이 손자 네 번째 생일 축하합니다. Happy birthday.
Yes, indeed, a very big happy birthday congratulations to this listener. Now, I also wonder if we have any listeners out there today who were born on August 8th, 1988.
그러게요.
If so, please let us know.
Yeah. 8 is an auspicious number in China.
I think so.
And that's why they tried really hard to make sure they hosted the Olympics in 2008, or was it 18? 2008, I think it was. And they did. And guess which day they had the opening ceremony?
Was it August 8th?
It was.
That's awesome.
They did that on purpose because they really consider this number to be lucky. Well, I hope, although we're not Chinese, we spread that bit of luck
Sure.
to all of our listeners today. 오선화님이요. 추석 연휴에 해마다 남편과 경복궁에 들립니다. 올해는 근정전 내부를 볼 수 있다니 벌써 기대가 돼요. 근정은 부지런하게 정치하라 라는 의미를 담고 있다고 합니다. 역시 우리 조상님들의 멋과 지혜로움은 곳곳에 숨어 있네요. Wow, I love that.
Yeah, appreciate that insight.
Yeah. Do politics in a diligent way is apparently what this means.
That's a great sentiment.
Yeah.
I think the world would be a better place if there was more of that shown around the world.
Absolutely, and this holds true, especially I think now in
Sure.
today's day and age.
Yes.
Well, keep sending in your messages and answers to the quiz. If you have any questions, then send those in as well. We'll try our best to answer those during our live show today. And we have 5 vitamin C sets prepared for you as well. But in the meantime, let's take a look at our News Focus stories. 자, 첫 번째 News Focus 살펴보겠습니다. 평화의 소녀상 전시가 중단된 일본 아이치 트레아날레를 두고 이번에는 해외 예술인과 여성주의 운동가들이 나섰습니다. 스스로 소녀상이 되는 퍼포먼스를 소셜미디어 계정에 올리면서 항의의 뜻을 밝히고 있는 건데요. Let's listen to the story.
In response to the Aichi Triennale Art Festival shutting down its Statue of Peace exhibit, people have begun staging protests by mimicking the statue's pose. One Italian woman posted photos of women posing as the so-called Comfort Women statue as a protest against the censorship of the exhibit. A student in Mexico also posted a photo of her tribute to the statue on her personal social media account. This is not the first time global citizens have taken to protesting atrocities committed by Japan.
네, 이렇게 직접 소녀상이 되는 퍼포먼스가 소셜미디어 상에 올라오고 있는데요. 지금 보이는 라디오로 사진 몇 장을 저희도 보여드리고 있습니다. 함께 보실 수 있으시면 뉴스 이해하는데 좀 더 도움이 될 것 같고요. 이탈리아, 멕시코 등등 해외 곳곳에서 이런 사진들이 올라오고 있습니다. In response to the Aichi Triennale Art Festival shutting down its Statue of Peace exhibit, people have begun staging protests by mimicking the statue's pose.
Yes, that's right. So the word mimic in a word means to copy. If someone or something mimics another person or thing, then they are trying to copy them, they are trying to be like them. That could be acting like them, that could be sounding like them, that could be dressing like them,
Right.
or in this case, it could be posing like them.
네, 똑같이 따라하다, 비슷한 모습을 하도록 하다라는 뜻의 mimic가 되겠습니다. 그래서 소녀상의 모습을 따라서 스스로 소녀상이 되는 그런 거를 여기서 뜻하죠. One Italian woman, that is not women, posted, is that right? Photos of women posing as the so-called comfort women statue as a protest against the censorship of the exhibit.
Yes, thank you again. Indeed, that is one Italian woman. It should be with an A, indeed, singular woman. And the word here we'll look at is censorship. That's sort of central to this story.
Yeah.
And we haven't had much opportunity to talk about it. Censorship is the removal of parts of books, movies, songs, in this case, art exhibits. That removal is done by some authorities who have deemed it, whatever it may be, to be wrong or to be not suitable for the public.
네, 원래 이제 검열이라는 뜻이 있죠. censorship 그러면은 그래서 일본 측에서 일방적으로 이 소녀상 전시를 취소했잖아요. 그거를 여기서는 censorship이라고 표현을 한 겁니다. 그것에 대한 어떤 대항으로 protest로 직접 소녀상이 되고 있는 게 소셜미디어에 올라오고 있고요. A student in Mexico also posted a photo of her tribute to the statue.
She did indeed, so we can look at that word tribute. Now, a tribute is something that you either say or do or make to show your admiration and respect for someone or something.
네, 그렇죠. 그래서 tribute 그러면은 보통은 헌사라고 해야 될까요? 그러니까 뭔가 바친다는 뜻이 있습니다. Tribute to the statue이기 때문에 여기서는 소녀상에 대한 어떤 본인의 마음을 전했다 이렇게 볼 수 있을 것 같아요.
During our 7,000 episode celebrations, I think the Morning Special
right.
paid tribute to a lot of their former hosts, guests, as well as listeners.
네, 그래서 pay tribute to가 하나의 덩어리 표현인데요. 누구에게 경의를 표하다라는 뜻이 있습니다. 그래서 여기서는 이제 소녀상에 대한 어떤 존경 표현다 이렇게도 볼 수 있을 것 같아요. This is not the first time global citizens have taken to protesting atrocities committed by Japan.
Indeed, there have been several other instances dating back many years, and when they do make these protests against the atrocities, those atrocities are acts of extreme cruelty in general, but there is a sort of a connotation when we use that word atrocities that we're talking about times of war and that these acts are being done against prisoners maybe or against civilians during those certain times.
네, 보통 이제 끔찍한 행동을 atrocity라고 할 수 있는데요. 잔혹 행위도 마찬가지입니다. 일본이 저지른 이제 끔찍한 일들에 대해서 global citizen 해외에서 이렇게 반응을 보인 게 처음이 아니다라는 뜻이 되겠고요. Pay tribute to 이제 tribute라는 단어를 이제 헌정으로 번역을 할 수 있겠네요. Let's listen to the story one more time.
In response to the Aichi Triennale Art Festival shutting down its Statue of Peace exhibit, people have begun staging protests by mimicking the statue's pose. One Italian woman posted photos of women posing as the so-called Comfort Women statue as a protest against the censorship of the exhibit. A student in Mexico also posted a photo of her tribute to the statue on her personal social media account. This is not the first time global citizens have taken to protesting atrocities committed by Japan.
자, 두 번째 뉴스 포커스입니다. 30년 전 중국 천안문 시위에 탱크맨이 있었다면 지금의 러시아 시위에는 헌법 소녀가 있습니다. 러시아에서 모스크바 시의회 선거의 공정성을 요구하는 시위가 이어지고 있는데요. 한 10대 소녀가 헌법 낭독 시위를 벌이는 사진이 온라인에서 급속히 확산되면서 시민들에게 큰 울림을 주고 있습니다. Let's listen to the story.
A 17-year-old Russian girl recently defied her government by reading the Russian constitution to assembled riot police while pro-democracy protests took place in Moscow. Russia's constitution states that Russians have the right to peaceful assembly. The protests were sparked by the refusal of Russia's election watchdog to endorse opposition politicians for next month's municipal elections in Moscow. During this turbulent time in Russia, the girl says she hopes to document the country's political landscape.
네, BBC가 이렇게 보도를 하면서 올가 미식 Tak라고 하는 이 여성이 마치 예전에 있었던 중국의 그 탱크맨과 비슷하다라는 얘기를 했습니다. A 17-year-old Russian girl recently defied her government.
She did indeed. The root word here is to defy, and the spelling of that is D-E-F-Y. That's the root, to defy. And if you defy someone or something that is trying to make you behave in a particular way, it means that you refuse to obey them or you refuse to behave in that way.
거역하다라는 뜻이 있습니다. Now, Russia's constitution states that Russians have the right to peaceful assembly.
Right. Assembly means when people gather into a certain place for a certain purpose. Now, there can be assemblies for a multitude of reasons. When I was in school, we had assemblies usually each week. That meant all the children, all the students came down from their classrooms.
Right.
They gathered in the gymnasium or the
Yeah.
auditorium. They would sit on the floor, and the principal would give some news and other things like that. That's a school assembly. But here, of course, we're talking about the right to assembly. In this case, of course, to protest against the government.
네, 집회라는 뜻이 있죠. 여기서의 assembly는 선생님이 말씀해 주신 것처럼 저도 영국에서 자랐었을 때 초등학교 때였던 것 같아요. 거의 뭐 일주일에 한 번인가 정확한 건 기억이 안
Yeah, I don't
나지만
remember either, but something like that.
전교생들이 다 이제 assembly hall에 모여서 바닥에 앉아가지고 이제 교장 선생님이 얘기도 듣고 노래도 부르고 이랬던 기억이 납니다. 네. Well, the protests were sparked by the refusal of Russia's election watchdog to endorse opposition politicians for next month's elections.
Right, let's look at that word to endorse. In this context, if you endorse somebody, then you are saying publicly that you support them or that you approve of them or that you allow them to do something that they want to do. And in this case, it's that latter example.
네. 어떤 후보를 지지한다라는 뜻의 endorse가 여기서 쓰였습니다. 그런데 저는 정말 재밌는 게 미국 같은 경우에는 연예인들이 TV에 나와서 공공연하게 저는 무슨 후보를 지지합니다.
That's right.
이런 얘기들을
Yeah,
하잖아요.
you'll see celebrities going on television to
맞아요.
endorse their particular candidate.
네, 그래서 이제 대표적으로 오프라 윈프리 같은 경우에는 뭐 당시에 이제 바락 오바마를
Of
굉장히
course.
지지한다는 걸 밝혔는데 그로 인해서 굉장히 많은 투표가 그쪽으로 쏠렸다라는
Sure.
분석 결과가 나왔습니다. 우리나라에서는 이렇게 publicly endorse 잘 안 하거든요.
Yeah, as far as I know.
그러더라고요. 재밌습니다. 어쨌든 이제 러시아 얘기인데 the protests were sparked by the refusal of Russia's election watchdog to endorse opposition politicians. Now, during this turbulent time in Russia, the girl says she hopes to document the country's political landscape.
So I think we are still sort of in that vacation period. Many people in Korea may be traveling or may have traveled recently. If they've been on an airplane, they may have experienced turbulence.
Right.
Turbulence in the air is, of course, when the air is unstable and unsmooth and it causes the plane to shake. So if we talk about a turbulent time, well, that's sort of the same thing. It's a time when there's a lot of change, a lot of confusion, a lot of disorder, maybe a lot of chaos.
네, 비행기에서의 turbulence는 난기류를 뜻하지만 여기서의 turbulent time은 격동의 시간을 뜻합니다. Let's listen to this story one more time.
A 17-year-old Russian girl recently defied her government by reading the Russian constitution to assembled riot police while pro-democracy protests took place in Moscow. Russia's constitution states that Russians have the right to peaceful assembly. The protests were sparked by the refusal of Russia's election watchdog to endorse opposition politicians for next month's municipal elections in Moscow. During this turbulent time in Russia, the girl says she hopes to document the country's political landscape.
Okay, let's remind our listeners of the quiz.
Our quiz this morning asks this question. Who is most likely to have used the Gunjangjeon? Would that be number 1, Sejong the Great, or number 2, Elizabeth II?
짧은 문자 50원, 긴 문자 100원에 샵 1045로 보내주시고요. 반디 게시판이나 카카오톡 플러스 이용도 가능합니다. 1부에서는 추첨을 통해서 총 5분께 비타민 C 세트 보내드리겠습니다. 노래 듣고 와서 다음 뉴스 포커스 볼게요. This is One More Time by Ingrid. Let's check our next news focus story. 다음 뉴스 포커스입니다. 인류의 호기심 해결을 위해 화성에서 탐사를 진행 중인 탐사 로버 Curiosity가 화성에 착륙한 지 7주년을 맞았습니다. 미국 항공우주국 나사는 큐리오시티가 촬영한 사진 등을 공개하며 화성 착륙 7주년을 자축했는데요. 소형차 크기만한 큐리오시티는 화성에 생명체가 있는지 조사하기 위해서 지난 2012년 8월 5일 화성 표면에 착륙했습니다. Let's listen to the story.
7 years have lapsed since NASA's Curiosity rover first touched down on Mars. Since then, Curiosity has been tasked with finding the answer to one all-important question. Can Mars harbor life? As it turns out, the answer is a resounding yes. Mars was found to have a mix of sulfur, nitrogen, oxygen, phosphorus, and carbon that could allow microbes to thrive. Curiosity's original 2-year mission should have ended in 2017, but has been extended indefinitely by NASA officials.
네, 화성에서 과연 살 수 있을까라는 질문을 가지고 탐사 로버 Curiosity가 화성에 착륙한 지 7년이 됐습니다. 7 years have lapsed since NASA's Curiosity rover first touched down on Mars.
Yeah, that word to lapse, that's L-A-P-S-E, to lapse. If a period of time, which we're talking about here, lapses, it simply means that it has passed.
Yes, indeed. 그래서 시간과 같이 쓸 수 있는 아주 유용한 단어인데요. lapse라고 하면은 어떤 시간이 지나다, 경과하다라는 뜻입니다.
We also use lapse in a situation where something that goes over a period of time, like a contract or a membership, if that is set to expire and then is not renewed, we can say, oh, my membership has lapsed.
그때는 뭐 소멸됐다 아니면 어떤 회원 자격이 박탈됐다.
Yeah, sort of like expired. My membership has expired, but
네.
it's a different sort of nuance. When we say lapsed, we mean that it might have happened by accident, not thinking about it.
이것도 다 시간과 관련이 있네요. 그래서 시간이 너무 많이 지나서 이 유효 기간을 넘었다. 더 이상 나는 이제 회원이 아니다라고 할 때도 쓸 수 있는 표현이고요. 여기서는 이제 curiosity에 대한 얘기입니다. 7년이 지났다라는 것을 7 years have lapsed라고 했네요. Since then, curiosity has been tasked with finding the answer to one all-important question. Can Mars harbor life?
It's a big question, yes, indeed. Here, the word harbor, I'm quite confident our listeners are familiar with that word in a different context. There are many harbors in Korea where ships dock and goods are unloaded. However, in this case, harbor means, I guess, simply to keep or to hold something or to support something.
네. 그래서 여기에서의 harbor는 어떤 항구를 뜻하는 게 아니고요. 뭔가를 뭐랄까요? 지탱하다, 품다 이런 뜻이 되겠습니다. 그래서 can Mars harbor life 그러면은 화성에서 과연 삶이 이어질 수 있겠느냐? 즉 화성에서 살 수 있느냐라는 거죠. It's just another clever way of saying can you live on Mars?
Yeah, I guess a simpler word here would be can Mars support life?
네, 그렇죠. 그러니까 어떤 감정 같은 거를 우리가 품는다라고 할 때도 you can harbor feelings like doubts, for
Yes, you
example.
can. You can harbor emotions,
Yeah.
thoughts, or secrets. Some people might harbor feelings for one of their classmates, maybe when they're in school, but they don't tell that person.
맞아요. 그래서 우리가 마음속에 뭔가 꾹꾹 담아놓고 뒤끝이 있다라고 하는 사람들한테도
Sure.
이 표현을 쓸 수 있습니다.
That's right.
마치 항구에 배를 정착하는 것처럼 어떤 감정을 마음속에다가 이렇게 품는 거, 이런 걸 하버한다라고 얘기를 하고요. 여기서는 화성이 과연 사람을 품을 수 있겠는가, 살 수 있겠는가라는 뜻이죠. As it turns out, the answer is a resounding yes.
Yes, indeed. Resounding. Now, this might look like on the surface resounding, but then actually the sound changes a little bit. You're right.
Right.
Resounding. And if something is resounding, it's loud, it's clear, it's obvious.
맞아요. 굉장한 이라는 뜻의 resounding인데요. 발음 주의하셔야 됩니다. resounding이라고 하면 안 돼요.
Right. It does need to change that pronunciation a little bit.
네. 그래서 보통 이렇게 뒤에 긍정적인 표현이 나오기 전에 resounding을 쓰는데 과연 화성에서 살 수 있을까? 그 대답은 그럴 수 있다라는 거죠. And Mars was found to have a mix of sulfur, nitrogen, oxygen, phosphorus, and carbon that would allow microbes to thrive.
Right, the key word there comes at the very end, to thrive. Now, if something, as in this case microbes, or someone, it can also be applied to people, if those things thrive, then it means that they do well in a certain environment, that they are successful, that they are healthy, that they are strong. It's definitely a positive meaning word.
네, 그 앞에 나온 microbes를 꾸며주는 말이죠. microbes, 미생물이 thrive 할 수 있다, 번창하다, 번식할 수 있다라는 게 입증이 됐대요. Curiosity's original 2-year mission should have ended in 2017, but it's been extended indefinitely by NASA officials.
Yes, it has. It was supposed to be just over a few years ago, but they decided, well, it's going well, no reason to shut it down, so they've kept it going for a period of time which has not been determined, and that's why we use that word indefinitely.
네, 그래서 indefinitely 그러면은 언제까지가 될지 모른다라는 뜻이 있죠. 무기한이라는 뜻도 되겠습니다. Just one little question about the pronunciation of NASA. Is it NASA, NASA, or NASA? Which one is
I
it?
go with sort of the second or third. I say NASA. So in my
Yeah,
Canadian pronunciation, I would definitely say NASA.
I was just wondering because with resounding you sort
You
of
do make a
weaken the
change,
S,
yes, you do.
but with NASA you make it a strong S.
These are the frustrating parts of English, aren't they?
네, 여기서는 우리는 보통 NASA라고 하지만 영어에서 NASA가 맞겠습니다. Let's listen to the story one more time.
Seven years have lapsed since NASA's Curiosity rover first touched down on Mars. Since then, Curiosity has been tasked with finding the answer to one all-important question. Can Mars harbor life? As it turns out, the answer is a resounding yes. Mars was found to have a mix of sulfur, nitrogen, oxygen, phosphorus, and carbon that could allow microbes to thrive. Curiosity's original 2-year mission should have ended in 2017, but has been extended indefinitely by NASA officials.
Now let's check out the answer to the quiz. 선생님?
Well, our quiz today was asking who would be most likely to have used the Gunjangjeon. Would that have been number 1, Sejong the Great, or number 2, Elizabeth II? Of course, the answer today is number 1, Sejong the Great.
네, 조선에서 임금이 거처하는 궁이었던 근정전 얘기였습니다. 1번, 세종 the Great. Most likely would have used it. 1번이 정답이죠. Congratulations, Ali Kim님, 김황수님, 0360님, 9176님, 그리고 5776님 모두 축하드립니다. 비타민 C 세트 보내드릴게요. 자, 월터 선생님, 오늘의 표현은 뭔가요?
Well, let's go back just to something we just talked about there in News Focus 3, that word resounding. We talked about resounding meaning something is clear, it's obvious, but another context that we often use it is to say something was a resounding success. So if any of our listeners, maybe they're working on some big project and someone asks them, hey, how'd your project go? And if it was very successful and you want to very proudly say that it was successful, you can say, it was a resounding success.
프로젝트가 그냥 잘 됐어 라고 하는 것보다는 엄청 잘 됐어 라고 하고 싶을 때 it was a resounding success 라고 할 수 있죠.
I suppose you could use that the other way too. You could say it was a resounding failure.
엄청 망했어
But I
라고 할
hope
때도
nobody
쓸
has
수
to say that.
네, 그리고 투표 결과의 압도적인 승리였다라고 할 때도 it was a resounding victory 라는 표현도 쓸 수 있습니다.
Yeah, we hear that a lot in sports. If one team wins by a very large margin, let's imagine a football match between two teams and
Yeah.
the score is, let's say, 6-1.
Oh, wow.
In a football match, we'd call that a resounding victory. Loud, clear, obvious.
네, 그렇습니다. 그래서 아주 굉장한 것을 말할 때 resounding 그 뒤에 뭐 victory, defeat, success,
Yeah, again,
failure
can be used the other way.
다 쓸 수
Defeat.
있습니다. 네, 오늘의 표현이 되겠습니다. 자, 많은 분들이 사연을 보내주셔서요. 조금 더 소개할게요. 박호선님은요. 모스 에코백 들고 다니는 분을 봤습니다. 굉장히 부러웠어요. 저도 왕 애청자로서 너무 받고 싶었는데 유유 이렇게 보내주셨어요.
I think that ship has sailed.
It has.
I think we're all out of stock.
Yeah, unfortunately. But thank you so much for whoever it was that was carrying the bag. And yeah, if you have a picture that you'd like to share with us, then please do. 박혜숙님은요, my daughter was born. 선생님이 소개해 주세요.
Yeah, sure. This listener says, my daughter was born on the 8th of January in 1988 when the International Olympic Games were hosted in Seoul.
Close to August 8th.
Pretty close. We got 1988. That's pretty good.
네.
That's pretty good.
1988년 1월 8일 날 태어난 딸이 있으시다고 박혜숙 님이 알려주셨습니다. 아, 네. 8월 8일은 없을까요? 88년 8월 8일.
Oh, well, maybe.
Maybe. 네, 어쨌든 감사합니다. 그리고 5474님은요. Good morning, 쌤들. 오늘 입추예요. 아직 한여름의 더위가 맹렬하지만 곧 여름이 끝나고 가을이 오겠죠. 어젯밤은 에어컨 없이 잘만 하더라고요. 팔팔한 하루 되세요. 보내주셨습니다.
Is that a real expression?
Yes.
Oh, cool.
It means energetic.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
I learned something. Thank you for that.
끝번호 2386님은요. 사랑하는 8살 난 아들의 생일입니다. 팔팔하게 살아가려고 7년 전 오늘 저와 처음 눈을 마주쳤네요. 살아온 날 대부분을 엄마와 함께 모스를 들어온 애청자 아드님입니다. 앞으로도 더욱 건강하게 지낼 수 있도록 축하해 주세요. 네.
Well, indeed, another happy birthday.
Happy birthday indeed. All right, well, thank you all for your messages and thank you, 선생님, for your time this morning.
See you tomorrow.
Okay. Coming up in hour 2 of Morning Special, we have 영작 극장 and also movies with Mike. Taking us there is a song by Paul Moriarty Orchestra, Love is Blue.